Hi there, this is Katherine. I'm sharing the new Recollections 12 by 12 glitter pad that Craft Smith Co. sent to me, and I did a video that showed the inside of it. It's got these gorgeous rainbow colors of glitter paper. So I just wanted to share the 24 sheets on that, and then we're going to get started making some projects. And my first project is going to be a banner. I have a child who will be graduating from high school this year, first time mom of a graduate from high school. So I am very much in the graduate mode these days. And I have these dies from Stamps of Life that create the banner. And I've cut them out. It's a pointed banner is what it's called, kind of a triangular shape. And their colors are blue and orange. So I've cut all my pieces, and then I'm going to use some of the glitter paper to create the letters to help stand out on this banner. So I've got these large alphabet dies. Also from Stamps of Life, I've cut them, the base part from blue, and then I'm going to add the orange glitter paper. It cuts like a dream, and it's beautiful. So I thought that would be a great way to create a banner and start on my graduation crafting journey for this year. I'm going to make some other crafts as well with it, but this is the first one I made. So after I get all of those letters glued down using my fine point adhesive, I'm going to glue them onto the banner. And I've just, CHS is are the letters for her school. And so I thought having a little 3-piece banner to add to the party fair when we have a little celebration would be a fun thing to do. So I'm gluing down this last S on here, this last letter, and then I will run through some orange ribbon. I am a Georgia Bulldog, and red and black are my colors, not blue and orange. That's more of a Florida color, which is always a nemesis in football, college football. So for me to make something in blue and orange is a big deal. And so anyway, it just always makes me giggle when I have to do anything in her school colors, because it's not my school colors. So anyway, that's just a side note. But I'm going to add this orange ribbon, and that'll be it for this. I made a quick and easy banner. It probably only took about 15-20 minutes total, and the paper is beautiful. So for my next project, I'm going to make a card with lots and lots of glitter paper on it. I have these slimline dies that cut out these strips, which I love. There's a thin one and a thick one, and I have cut them out from that beautiful purple. It's kind of a light purple. It's not deep, deep purple. It's a light purple. Beautiful. I had some butterfly paper that has been on my craft table for a while that I wanted to use. And so I'm going to start by gluing down 3 of these gorgeous glitter strips. And again, it cuts like a dream. I use a Big Shot machine and a diamond press machine, and the glitter paper went through both of these no problem. So I was very impressed with how they cut. And again, they're in your local Michael's store. I saw a pad in my store the other day when I stopped by. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these 3 strips down on the left-hand side, and I'll let those dry. You can see a little bit of the sparkle. They're so pretty in person. And I wanted to use every little bit of my paper. I didn't want to waste any. So I had some of it left over from several other projects. And so I'm making sure to use every bit of glitter paper. If you followed me for a minute, you know that I love glitter, but I don't really love the mess, I'll be honest. I like glitter paper and I like glitter glue. So this glitter paper is right up my alley. I get that beautiful shine without the mess. So I'm going to set that aside and let that dry. And then I cut a couple of circles, an outer circle and then an inner scallop circle from some Crafter's Companion. I had a card kit that I found in my stash that had the dies, and it also has the stamps that I'm going to use. It had a happy birthday and a butterfly, which I thought kind of was very similar to the one in the paper, the shape and all. So I decided to stamp that with my stamp positioner. That's that sticky paper, that sticky grid paper that I use from Sizzix. You've seen that before if you've watched any videos. I love it because I can just put an image down and I can pretty much stamp the whole thing without it moving. And that'll be linked in the description because I really, really love it. So I've got this stamped with the happy birthday in my butterfly. I'm going to take my Spectrum Noir in orange, an orange blend. I'm going to use the lightest color on this, and I'm just going to blend the outer part of the wing in orange. And then I'm going to come back and do the inner wing in yellow. It's actually a citrus blend is the color of their yellow. It has a tiny hint of green, but I really like the brightness of it. So this is the darkest shade of that yellow, the citrus blend, and then the body is going to be a darker, the darkest orange on this marker. If you can see there, it's called a tri-blend because there are 3 parts to it, 3 shades. Okay, so my strips have dried and I'm going to trim those off for my butterfly. And then this will go onto a smaller piece of the blue glitter cardstock. I think I cut the butterfly paper 3 3/4 by 5. So this is just a little bit larger. And then this will end up making an A2 size card. My tape runner runs out mid-video, and so I've got to root around and find another one. Sometimes that happens. And then I'm going to glue that down. I've got the green circle that I'm going to add. I'm going to add my butterfly to the green one. And this is pretty much a 1-layer card, but it's really, really pretty. I didn't pop anything up on this one, but I was very pleased with the punch of color and then, of course, that beautiful glitter paper. So I wanted to add a couple of stickers. I picked up this little sticker sheet. I think I got 3 of them the other day at my Michael's when I was there. These are also from Recollections that they've just gotten in the store. I saw somebody post on Instagram, and so I stopped by. They're so cute. So they've got this kind of a purple tone, pink purple tone that I thought would work well with the color scheme. So I'm going to decide where to add my little bug, and then that's going to finish this card off. Okay. So the next one, more glitter paper, of course, and I have cut, this is a stamp and die set from Paper Tray Ink. I have cut a bunch of balloons. I had some balloon dies in there, so I just took advantage of the time that I had, and I cut a bunch of them. So I will put those aside, and I'll use some of those for future projects. And then I also cut a frame. This is a retired My Favorite Things. I think it's the pierced rectangle that I found in my stash from that beautiful purple paper. I have a little friend, my Quokka stamp. This is Cat Scrappiness. That is my favorite critter of 2021 for sure, and he goes on every card I can get him onto. I thought it would be sweet for him to hold a bouquet of glitter balloons, and they're these heart shape, which makes them even sweeter. So I'm going to stamp there's some strings included in this stamp set, and I'm trying to figure out exactly where I'm going to place it so my balloons can go on top. So I've got this kind of center part of the balloons that I'm going to add. I'm just using some black ink here, and I'm going to lay that down with my stamp positioner so it won't move. But then I decide I'm going to add, there are a couple of more strings. So I'm going to glue my panel down, my frame, and then I'm going to come back and add some more of the strings to fill a little bit more of my page. So this glues beautifully onto the white cardstock. I'm just trimming up a little bit where when I trimmed the white, I didn't trim it quite right. My trimmer has been acting up. I'm on the lookout for a new one. It's been giving me some fits lately, so I think I'm going to have to replace it. I just haven't gotten to it, and I really love it. It's super old, and I think I may have just possibly worn it out. Sometimes that happens. Things get old and tired. So here I am coming back with the strings I referenced. I'm just going to add a couple of more on there to kind of fill up a little bit where the balloons are going to go. Because I kind of want it behind there, and then he ends up, I like it better a little to the side. So I'm going to stamp the image, the sentiment on here, and I'm using a red Hero Arts ink pad that I had. And off camera, I'm going to pop him up with the foam, my little Quokka, but off camera I take a piece of tape and just put the balloons together and then pop them up with foam. For some reason I pushed the wrong button, so you don't get to see that part of it, but I did just add all those balloons. I flipped it over, I kept kind of the bouquet together, and then I added the piece of tape on the back to adhere them, and then I popped it up with foam tape. So I'm sorry that didn't make it to the camera, but I just kind of layered those all together. Now I've got these stickers again, and there are some, I'm going to put a trio of 3 of these little kind of flowers that I thought worked well with the purple, since there's a lot of purple on this card. So I really enjoyed the stickers, and they're clear on the side, so you can't even really see them. They almost look like sort of a stamp. Okay, so that is it on that card. And then this last one, I'm making a slimline. I had some of those strips left over that I was not going to waste, so I glued the skinnier ones down and the yellow ones. And the yellow is absolutely gorgeous in this glitter paper. It is like the perfect lemon yellow. I have already cut a piece of my slimline paper using my slimline dies. That paper is kind of holographic. So it's really, really pretty and has this cool kind of graphic design on it. I also pulled out one of my fearless words from Stamps of Life that I've had in my craft stash, this Dream Big, and I'm going to cut that out, and I glued that down with some adhesive, and I used the orange and that beautiful yellow. So I've got a black card base that I'm going to use for this, for my slimline, and then I'm going to pop up the Dream Big. And I love these word sentiments, but they look so awesome in the glitter paper. Again, I love anything shiny and glittery. So this is the perfect paper pad for me, or for any collection. It's great. You can always add it to a background. There's always something you can do to make a little bit of sparkle and shine. Okay, so on this last one, I've got to cut my Stampin' Up! Dimensional in half to make it fit. So I'm just going to trim that down, and then I'll be able to glue my sentiment on there. And I love these big sentiments because they really fill the card and they fit perfectly on my slimline. And I'm going to add this to the middle, and then I'm going to come back and add just a little bit more. I could have left it just like this, but I wanted to add a few stars that I had. I have a few dies that are star shapes of different sizes that I've had for a very long time. I love to add stars to things when I can, and this could be, a graduation card if you wanted it to be, with the Dream Big sentiment and then some stars. So I'm going to run this through my diamond press machine, and I have these gorgeous orange stars, and the orange is really pretty too. I like orange much more than I used to before I was a card maker, but I love like pink and orange together, and this orange is very, very pretty. So I decided I needed one more star, and I'm going to go back and run one more little scrap piece through my machine and get that last star. I did the kind of medium-sized one. I didn't use the tiny stars because I thought they would get lost on that busy, busy background. So I just kept my bigger stars instead of using the tiny, tiny ones. So I've got to trim these little dimensionals again. I have smaller ones. I don't know where they are. That's the story of my life in my craft room. I cleaned up this weekend and it looked really good, and then I started crafting again. So anyway, it's always a mess when I craft. So you can see that shine on there, just gorgeous with the glitter paper. So I enjoyed sharing this pad of paper with you, and I hope you'll consider it. It's 12 by 12, so it's a great size. You can use some scrapbooking. I'd like to do some scrapbooking with it, and I'd love to do some rainbow dies with this as well. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm going to link everything in my description if you're interested in any of the stamps that I used. And I hope that you'll like and subscribe and share if you enjoyed it. And thanks so much for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day.